Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation and reflection today, Todi Mahalla Panjama. We continue in this rag with the revelation of the fifth Nanak, Guru Arjan Dev. The recitation, Todi Mahalla Panjama, Maie mere man ki preet, ehi karam dharm jap ehi, Ram naam nirmal hai reet, rahao. The gravitational pull of the sabad in the rahao. The literal reading of these lines would be, O mother, Maie, hear of the love of my heart, mere man ki preet. This alone, ehi, is karam, dharam, and jap. This alone, all of this, karam, dharam, jap, is the naam of Ram, Naam. And this is the immaculate way, the path. Nirmala hai reet. So this is a testimony. In the previous Sabad, if you remember, there was a confessional. This continues. This is a confiding inward, calling out to my mother. That's the literal meaning of Maie. But it's actually calling out to oneself. It's the most intimate posture in the devotional vocabulary that we encounter in the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. It's child to mother disclosure. The mother being the mati, the mind. The inner state is being spoken. So, and this is used quite constantly whenever what needs to be said is too tender for an outside audience. It's speaking to the mind. So what is confided is the Preet, the location of his deep love. So Preet is the central allegiance. It's not casual liking. You have to understand this is the thing one's life is actually in the service of. This is where my Preet is settled. And then the second line sort of gives you the structure around it. Ehi karma tarma jap ehi. This is it. So what we have to understand is that in the religious structure of Guru Arjan's world, and even today, a well-ordered life rested on three pillars: karam, ritual action; dharam, right duty, a way of living; and jap, practice. These were the irreducible categories of what one did in order to be, quote unquote, religious. But what is Guru Arjan saying here? He's saying, Ehi, all these three pillars have been folded into one. And that one is Preet, love. So he's not abandoning that triad, but it is being fulfilled through relocation. He's relocating karam, taram, jap are no longer things one performs. They become what one is when the heart has found its love. You become karam, taram, and jap. You embody it. It's not a performance. And that, the Guru says, Ehi nirmal hai reet. This is the way to be. This is the path. Reet means custom, tradition, the ordained path. So he's shifting, interiorizing what is otherwise an external performance. So all of your religious practice, karam, taram, jap, really has to collapse into Ram Nam. Nirmal without ego. Because karam, taram, jap can become egoic, is indeed egoic. And the first verse after the Rahau, Pran Adhar Jeevan Dhan More Dekhan Ko Darshan Prabneet बाट घाट तोसा संग मोर मन अपने को मैं हर सखा कीत प्राण आधार जीवन धन मोर. The support of my very breath, the wealth of my life, जीवन धन मोर. What is it? What is the support? It is the daily beholding, dekhan ko neet, of the Lord's presence. Darsana Prabh, the Lord of the universe. To feel that presence. And that presence, the feeling of that presence, that is the ferry crossing, Bhat Ghat. That is my provision on this journey. Tosa Sangamora. Tosa is what you take along on a journey. So the support of the very breath, the wealth of life. So these are not just metaphors, they are statements of dependency. The breath is riding on something and life is funded by something. And that is the Prabh. Darsana Prabhaneet. It's riding on the daily experience of this presence, the ground of all existence. And not occasionally, not exceptionally, but nitya, daily, continuously. So darshan is not a temple visit here. It is a moment by moment beholding of presence. And the breath has been on this support all along. But it takes us a while to notice that. And that is the ferry crossing. A ghat is a passage, a transition, a crossing where the traveler is very exposed. So, on this journey, you pack just one ration, tosa, and that is nam. And man apne ko main har sakha keet. The har is my companion, my friend, my guide on this journey. The concluding verse, Sant prasad bhaye man nirmal kari kirpa apne kar leet simar simar nanak sukh paya ad jugad bhagatan ke meet. By the grace of the Sant, Sant Prasad. Again here, Sant is the Guru or an awakened mind. Sant Prasad. By the grace. Grace is also the insight that the Guru gives you. That is also called Prasad. It is the gift of insight that enables you to notice the presence of Naam. So it says, Sant Prasad Bhaye. When the Sant, in its grace, gave me that wisdom, Man nirmal kar. What happened first? The mind became clean. Nirmal, without mal, dirt. And that is a reference to the ego. Because the ego is simply an accumulation. It's constantly accumulation. And that fogs your vision. Nirmal kar. Kirpa apne kar leet. Kirpa. The Har claimed me as my own. Simar simar nanak sukha paya. Simar through constant mindfulness, being aware. Nanak sukha paya. Nanak found sukh, that settled feeling of well-being, constant. Aad jugad bhagatan ke meet. The Har is always a friend to the devotee. So how did this Preet arrive? That is what this stanza is telling us. It arrived through Sant Prasad, the grace. Not through one's effort, not through years of seeking, but through Prasad. Unearned. It's a gift. The mind is made nirmal as a gift. Apne kar leet. Again, no claim. It is not I gave myself in. It is not even that. It is the Har has taken me as its own. It's not like I gave myself in. No, even you can't do that. It's very dramatic here. When you think you are actually giving yourself in, know that to be ego. That is total ego. And simar simar is continuous remembrance. And through that mindfulness, you are aware of the Har at all times within you as a friend. And that is how the journey of life is traversed. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.